Just coming on high tide, 29 degrees, barely cold for this time of year. And we're back in business. T-Rex, I got my iMovie all fixed. We were editing. We could probably do about an hour today because there's so much going on. Got some high, thin clouds on the back of that system that has been impacting New England since last Thursday. This is the first morning since last Thursday. It is not snowing anywhere in New England. I should have added up the numbers. Look at Mount Washington. It was all rocky a week ago. Now it looks like a huge glacier. Beautiful morning on Mount Washington. Not too much wind around, but it's still coming in from the north. It is... Hey, what's that? Is that a fire? Nope, that's not. That's a generating station, a power plant in Everett, Massachusetts. It's called the Mystic Generating Station, and it's working hard, keeping us warm this morning. It's forming a cloud, so that is anthropogenic weather. No, that is not CO2, that is H2O. H2O in the atmosphere is going to be building high, thin clouds. Oh, look at the sun reflecting off that jet up around 30,000 feet. And we're going to look at the jet stream up around 30,000 feet. It is a contoured mess. Actually, why don't we just look at that right now? The 200 millibar flow for the northern hemisphere. Pretty. Looks like a big buckling train of purple and yellow, and that yellow into Pacific Ocean. That's a jet stream up atop of Mount Everest height or so, 200 plus miles per hour coming across the Pacific Ocean. It is just an active weather pattern. All right, now come back to Earth, Tim. What day is this? This is Solstice. What does that mean? Sol is the sun. Stice is stop. The sun stops getting lower in the sky. Can't see it. It's behind there. So I can't really illustrate it. Yeah, that's Latin for solstice, means the sun stops getting lower here in the northern hemisphere. It stops getting higher in the southern hemisphere. And we start having longer days. And it's the official start to winter, and it's a nice frosty one here. Brisk frost on just about everything this morning. It's not really that cold though. Oh, frost on the worm chow over there. Not bad at all. Hey, what's going on here? I'm gonna have to start changing the name of this to Weather Sensor Alley on the worm farm. How's the ice in the bucket this morning, Rex? I don't even know if I can break it. Broke the bucket. Saw it here. Incidentally, that bucket, it melted 2 years ago when I put it next to the fire with snow in it to melt the snow for a water equivalent. Anyhow, there's plenty of buckets in the world, and that one has kicked it. I kicked the bucket today. I am too funny. All right, so there's one thermometer. That one says 26, which makes a little sense that the one inside is 29 because that one's located up higher. And what is that weird-looking thing? Yeah, there it is. That's the new Tempest weather sensor, the solar array, and raindrops dancing on the top supposedly accumulate rain, and then there's a sonic sensor for wind right there, and you got the temperature and the dew point in there, and it's going up there. We are going to start having some of the strongest wind gusts this side of Blue Hill once I get this thing online, and you can all see it too. I'll show you the network here pretty soon. Rain gauge, it's going to be busy in the rain gauge. We'll be able to compare that Tempest data with the real data. That's electronic, this is real. Anyhow, that's just some condensation in there right now. But we are looking at how much rainfall over the next 48 hours, and it spills over 1 to 3 inches of rainfall on the way with a superstorm that's forming now. Worms are under there, no problem. What do you mean superstorm, Tim? Well, there's a lot of fuel. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. It's 80 degrees in Cuba, and it's 61 degrees below zero in Rabbit Kettle, Northwest Territories of Canada. It is fascinating. You should really Google Rabbit Kettle. It's hot springs there. How cold does it get at those hot springs? Minus 61 today. So you get a 140-degree temperature gradient from northwestern Canada to Cuba. And we've got incredibly strong high pressure in Western Canada, up around 1050 millibars. You got pretty strong high pressure in southeastern Canada, old, cold, they call it, 1032. And then you have a front that's diving south with wind chill warnings in effect from Washington and Montana to Mississippi. This cold plunge is headed more south than east for now. I'm still pretty agitated by that clipper that came through here with that nice little bit of snow on December 10th and 11th. That clipper went and bombed out over Newfoundland and then backed into southeastern Canada and caused warm air from the north. That was over a week ago. Well, guess what? That storm that generated the blizzard over the Central Plains a week ago, where all these wind chill warnings are in effect right now, that storm stalled, decayed, and is now spinning over Hudson Bay, Canada, blocking in the atmosphere. All those aforementioned stalling and blocking prevented that cold that's in western North America from coming into eastern North America, thereby resulting in a forecast change from a blizzard near Boston to a blizzard near Boyne. Actually, there's not that much snow with this, but it only takes a couple inches of snow. It's really the wind that causes the blizzard. So, yeah, my fingers are freezing. So here in the Northeast, we have a nice day today, beautiful skiing. I hope you're getting it now. Tomorrow, clouds are increasing. There's a warm front coming in here tomorrow. There will be some snow in our mountains to the north, but the big story is going to be the wind with this one. I mean, we're going to get 1 to 3 inches of rain, but it's only going to be a warm wedge in the mountains for about 6 hours. So I don't think mountain flooding, as is the snow, should be able to absorb the rain. But I think the coastal flooding is going to be a huge issue. Quick look at the NAM wind forecast for Friday morning. That red and then the purple, that is gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour. That is 75 to 80, 70 knots is 80 miles per hour, sorry. And that is first thing on Friday morning. And so there is possible moderate to major flooding in Long Island Sound. And we're certainly going to have widespread damage with wind here. And this is our Friday. And then by the end of Friday, the wind shifts and comes in from the southwest. And all of a sudden, it's getting cold again. Rain may end as snow, and any runoff is going to freeze really quickly. I mean, it's really cold here on Saturday, talking single numbers, teens, north and central. But in southern New England, it's almost just as cold, and there could be an ocean effect plume bringing a white Christmas to Nantucket and perhaps Chatham. Now we're getting past 740. All right, so there's so much more to talk about, and I only touched some of what's going on here. And the new moon is on Friday. That's not going to help with our coastal flooding situation with the tide high shortly before noon there at the south coast. All right, I'll leave you with a little bit of what the highlight of the mist the last couple days. Sorry I haven't been out the door more, but I've been plenty busy. And storm prep on the oyster farm. Farmers don't get seasons off, and it is the season to save the oysters before the incoming storm.
This is deeper than I like, but I'm doing it. It's important to get this done. We have a brief window, Tim. Last week the tides didn't go out enough for us to get here. This week the tides are going out and the weather is as favorable as you can expect this time of year. I don't know where the rest of the guys are. This is now the 19th of December. The windows close fast.
What if they don't overwinter their oysters?
They run the risk of losing everything in a storm, having the ice crush all their gear. A lot of really nasty things can happen.
Yeah.
And I know this from personal experience. So it's all a judgment call. And I could be wrong. You could have a beautiful winter out there. Or I could be absolutely right. Or I could be somewhere in between, which is most likely.
Well, with the record cold and the record warmth, I would gamble that it's going to be not such a pleasant winter for outdoor activities. Maybe it's not going to snow all that much, but the wind is going to be all it can be.
This winter?
Yeah.
I agree. And wind is our least. Wind just, especially with the prevailing wind northwest in the winter, it's really, it's not good.
How high are you going to go?
30.
Back at 420. I get it.
You ready?
Is that where that ice came from? What are you going to do now? Yeah. 30 trays. How many oysters per tray you think?
Don't know.
least 100.
Oh, more than that.
So 3,000 oysters anyway, in there right now. Thousands more to go.
Put 6 more up there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 200. What's the difference? Why are these ones in bags?
This is the inventory. These are all the Christmas orders. You may still have time to get an order in. But look at these. How nice they are.
So these are going to go on the Christmas trees and coolers.
More like